but I'm very excited to be introducing our masterclass, our first masterclass of 2021. For all of you that are here with us today, thank you so much for joining us. And I am excited because I'm introducing a brand new presenter on our masterclass team. This is Andriy Strebkov. I'm sure some of you have heard him or seen him or spoken to him before. He is one of our iGUIDE experts, and he is bringing to us the masterclass today, what to do in downtimes and how to be productive and not just sit idle and get yourself ready for success in 2021. So welcome, Andriy, and take it away.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Andriy Strebkov. Some of you might already met me before. I work as a sales development representative here at iGUIDE, but I'm slowly transitioning to the market development rep. So you will see and hear more of me now, since I will be helping you actually develop your market, get more sales, get more projects, get more clients. So the topic of our today's conversation is what to do in downtimes. So how to turn downtimes in uptimes. So I'm dealing with I'm dealing with quite a lot of real estate photographers from large companies who have teams in every major city across the country to one-person companies or family-owned real estate photography companies. So they all have a different approach to the seasonality of our business, and they use their free time quite differently. So I'll be sharing some ideas on what you can do during this free time and how to actually utilize it to your advantage. So the very first thing which you can be doing is just to be there for your clients, even when there is not much work on the market right now. So the most natural way to be there and to stay in touch with your clients is just by giving a call to your clients, even when there is not much work to do right now, just to keep the relationship alive. Just give them a call, have a chat, I don't know, talk about the weather, talk about the local news, anything what might be relevant. Because at the end of the day, it's about your relationship with your client. Let's face it, real estate agents are not machines, they're human. Yes, they might like your photography, but it's equally important, if not more important, to have this relationship. They have to like you as a person. That's just how our psychology works. And you know what? Like when it's spring again and when the market is hot again, they will remember to call you, not someone else, when they have the next project coming. So another way to stay connected and to stay in touch with your clients, and I guess that's a softer way to do that, is through social media engagement. So you can just make posts, create stories, comments, engage in the conversations online. So basically remind of your existence to your clients. Hopefully you're connected with them online already. And kind of as part of this social media approach is you can focus on growing your social media audience. So quite a lot of real estate photographers doing a great job already on LinkedIn. Some of them are doing a great job on Facebook, but I noticed that quite a lot of times real estate photographers are missing out on LinkedIn, but that's where quite a lot of real estate agents are. So let's take a look, for example. So here is my LinkedIn, and if I just search very simple keyword, real estate agent, so I just search for it, I'll receive quite a lot of results, and especially if I filter it by, like if I specifically looking for people. So you can see real estate agent at Remax, and there are quite a lot of those people here. These are all real estate agents. But if we, let's say, search them by location as well. So if you click here, and by the way, excuse me, my LinkedIn is in French, but you know what? It's the same principle even in France. So if you search San Francisco and show the results, you will get quite a lot of real estate agents on LinkedIn. So real estate agent, San Francisco. These are all your potential clients. You can see there is 100 pages of these real estate agents in San Francisco Bay Area. So the same pretty much would work in Toronto, in Charlotte, North Carolina, in any location basically. And quite often we just forget about LinkedIn. So that's a great, I guess, place to actually communicate and to stay in touch with your clients during this time of the year. Also, I guess another thing you can be doing to stay in touch with your potential new clients is to work on your website, to work on improving your current website. It's unbelievable how often I would come across the real estate photographers' websites with some very funny issues. Some of them have no contact details. How can I get a hold of you? Like how can I call you, or how can I email you to use your services if I just can't find it or have hard time finding your phone number? Some of the real estate photographers have no samples, or there are not enough samples. And as part of this, it's quite often not clear what kind of services a real estate photographer can provide. So do you do drones? Do you do video? Is it just a photography? It's quite often not clear. And that is something what you can be improving at this time of the year. It will definitely help your bottom line when when the market is hot again. Oh, and another, I guess, funny thing which should be mentioned is sometimes it's not clear where the real estate photographer is located and which area is he serving. So that's obviously pretty important factor here. As part of improving your website is that you can be working on improving your SEO, search engine optimization. It's really hard to underestimate or overestimate the importance of search engine optimization. Because, for example, let's open Google and scan and look for real estate photographer. So I have search Dallas. So you can see here is my search results. So these first results this is ads, and this is a whole different topic, and that's something what you could be doing as well, advertising. But let's scroll down. So these are the actual results I would get from searching real estate photographer in Dallas. So what do I get? So I see shoot to sell, #1 real estate photography firm in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, real estate photography, $30 off. So these guys are, so I'm not sure if this company Shoot to Sell is really #1 real estate photography firm in Texas, but I definitely know that this company is #1 in my search and results when I search for real estate photography company in Texas. So that is something what will generate sales for you, because many real estate agents, that's how they look for real estate photographers. That's how they're looking for services. They just type it, they just Google it. Everybody's using Google today. But if you are on the 6th page, you will never be found. At best, a real estate agent would go to the 2nd page, but you should be striving to get on the 1st page in your city. It will definitely improve your bottom line. And another thing you could be doing at this time of the year to be there, to stay in touch, I guess, with your potential new clients, with the market, is cold reach outs, which is a whole different topic, which is a whole topic in itself. And we actually will be covering it in later master classes. But this is about cold emails, cold phone calls, cold social media contacts. So that is basically how you find new clients. When the time is right, they will call you and remember about you. So another thing you can be doing at this time of the year is consider expanding your services which you provide already. So some of you, I'm pretty sure, providing quite a lot of services. Some of you just provide real estate photography and 3D tours with the floor plans. But maybe you should consider getting into videography. Maybe you should consider getting into drone, getting drone license, investing in the drone. That can generate quite a lot of business. Maybe look into, maybe do some research and see if it's actually if it's actually demanded in your area. But you also have iGUIDE camera, which you already invested in, and there are quite a lot of advanced features which you might be missing out on, and which might be quite in demand in your market. Maybe your clients would want these features. For example, one of them is virtual staging. Depending on where you're located, it might be pretty important for agents to get the empty property staged. So right now they're paying staging companies quite a lot of money. You could do the same job for them at a fraction of the cost. So you can make it. Of course, it will not be your bread and butter of your business, but it will, if it makes you a few $100 on top of what you're making right now. That's great. Why not? So here is an example. You probably know about it already. So here is an example of virtually staged property. So this property was completely empty, but now you see there is this furniture here. So it's all digital. You can be providing, if you just know how to do that and how the process works, you could be selling this to your clients and making extra money with it. Another feature which you can provide to your clients if you know how to do that is to use Floor Planner. So this is another integration which we are providing in iGUIDE. So you can export your floor plans created with iGUIDE over to floorplanner.com, and basically it allows you to modify your floor plans. So you can turn them into 3D model like I did here right now. You can change them as you like. You can leave them as a 2D. You can add furniture. There are quite a lot of things you can be doing here and providing to your clients. Google Street View, that's another one. Obviously, for some of the cafes, restaurants, convenience stores, grocery stores, all of them might be looking for Google Street View integration. This is actually part of the SEO I was mentioning before, search engine optimization. So why do they need it? They need it for to be shown on the top pages. So any business which has Google Street View integration, which you can be providing to them with iGUIDE, any business which has this integration will show up on top in the search engine. So whenever somebody is looking for a local restaurant, or whenever someone is looking for a grocery store, the preference, Google will give a preference to those which have this Google Street View integration. If you know how to do this, and this is very simple. If you already know how to use the camera, this part here is pretty simple. But if you know how to do this and how to properly sell it to your clients, it will definitely put some extra money in your pocket. And by the way, as you might already know, you probably have seen it from the communication we've sent before. Google Street View, Floor Planner, and advanced measurements are free of charge starting January 1st. So we are not charging anything for these services if your iGUIDEs were created after January 1st. So this is the opportunity right there. Another thing you can be considering during this time of the year is to consider expand your market. So right now, most of real estate iGUIDE users are using iGUIDE specifically for real estate market, but there are quite a few other industries where you can be using the camera. For example, property restoration, renovation, and construction. There are quite a few advantages of iGUIDE and quite a few features which you might be selling on to the clients from these industries. For example, measurements and floor plans. Now, quite a lot of renovation and property restoration companies are looking for the measurements of specific objects on the 3D tour itself. Quite often, they are looking for the measurements of the room dimensions and the total square footage and the floor plans, and they need it accurate. And the third one is the self-hosting. I've been talking to some photographers, to some property restoration companies, and they, depending on the state, depending on the company, you might be required to keep your documentation from the damaged property for years for auditing and for insurance purposes. And here's where self-hosting feature of iGUIDE comes into play. Not every 3D tour company would allow you to download the 3D tour and keep it offline. That is something you can be selling to these these companies. And in fact, let me actually show you some examples of these works. Look at that. So this is basically the property which was damaged by fire. So this is a commercial property. So it was created by property restoration company or for property restoration company. So they document, thoroughly document every single property and every single damage, and do all the measurements and send them over to the insurance companies. So you can see what it looks like. Same applies to the renovation situations. So this is, well, this is a commercial property as well, but the same principle applies to a residential. So you can see this commercial property is being renovated. And again, they need the measurements, they need the floor plan, they need the whole 3D tour and the walkthrough of the property. That is something you could be creating for them. Another application here is commercial spaces. And again, we have quite a few features which are quite relevant for these commercial spaces. For example, self-hosting and ownership. So for some of those companies might be looking for the option to download the 3D tour and self-host it. And sometimes they cannot even, they would not even be able to, sometimes they're not even allowed to use some other hosting services for it. So quite often they would need these 3D tours sent to them privately and never be posted on the cloud. And we provide this option too. That's another service we actually can provide to your clients or to yourself. Obviously, Google Street View we already mentioned. Tagging option is pretty important in commercial spaces, and you can be selling this feature to them. So here is an example of here are a couple examples of these commercial properties. So this is the office space created in iGUIDE. So you can see this is pretty big space here. So, and here is what the warehouse looks like. It's a few thousand. Actually, let's see how big is the space. 69,000 square feet property. So these are big projects which you can be taking. Here's another one. So this is the Performing Arts Center. Basically, it's a theater. So they created iGUIDE of it. There are also other applications of iGUIDE which you might be where there are many other applications where you can use iGUIDE. So one of them is museums and heritage projects. So for example, we actually have a client who uses iGUIDE to scan lighthouses across United States. Here is actually one of them. So here is the lighthouse scanned somewhere on the East Coast. And so basically what they use it for is so the American Lighthouse Society wants to scan all the lighthouses in the United States, even those which are in bad condition. So the next generations can actually at least virtually walk through those lighthouses, which might never be there, which might be destroyed in a few years. But they can at least virtually walk in those lighthouses and get a feel of it. Same applies to the museums and galleries, and that's where tagging feature comes into play as well. You can use it very nicely in museums and restaurants, in galleries. Another interesting application I actually seen from talking to some of our clients is location scouting for TV shows and for movies. So this property here, you can see it's quite unusual interior design here. So this property is used for, and these 3D tour is used for location for TV shows and for movies. So that is something you can be selling potentially too. And I guess another example of unusual applications of iGUIDE is the church. There are more and more churches created. There are more and more 3D tours of churches created lately across the United States and Canada. It's especially relevant right now with the COVID-19. So the projects like this will definitely help you diversify your business. It will not only be a nice pastime during downtimes, during winter time. In fact, you might get pretty large projects and might, depending on what you're looking for, you might potentially be traveling across the country and scanning lots of spaces like this, which will potentially might generate much more money than even real estate. But that is something which, of course, you should be looking into. But this is just the idea which you can keep in mind. So that is it for me today. So let me know if you have any questions. Thank you very much for your attention. And yeah, I see there are some questions, I think, as well, comments. Okay, so what do we have? Yes, so Joanne, are you talking about Google Street View for interior of restaurant? Yes, that is basically, and let me actually show you an example of what I'm talking about. So here it is. So this is the Google Street View of a cafe. So this Google Street View was created with iGUIDE and just exported to Google. So that's basically what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Kelly already answered that. Anyway, Kelly, it's
no. You clarified because he still wasn't sure. So I think now it's clarified. I answered all of the questions so far. So please scroll down to the bottom of the chat. But Dwayne is asking some more questions. So how does that hook into Google Street View? So in our back end, you have the ability to export the floor plan, and to Google Street View, it takes you from our portal into their portal. And they are able to, so at the moment, there isn't, so if you use the, in Google Maps, if you use the little like icon guy thingy and you're like walking in Street View, there isn't a way for you to get directly into the interior of a business that has Google Street View attached to it, unfortunately. I'm not sure why Google Street View's street panos don't speak to our interior iGUIDE panos, but that's a Google kind of issue. From above, so the actual like sky, what is that called? Sky view, above you, the map view, whatever you call that, you can tell that there are panoramas available. And then as well, when you are in the Google Your Business, you can, one of the options, you know how the images show up underneath the address and the title of the business, I think it's called 360 degree, and Street View is an additional image, shall we say, and that they can click on and they'll be transported directly into the interior, which is the iGUIDE. What else do we have? Do they use it in their marketing? Yes, I should hope they do. So Google Street View is used to help enhance your online presence, your SEO, of course, any additional engagement or interaction that you can have online, especially now and during COVID, will help your presence online. And then, of course, because you've created an iGUIDE for them, you can offer them the embedded code. You can offer them, you know, if you've done photos, they can share they can share the iGUIDE through Facebook and through social media, take screenshots. Like there's a lot they can do with the assets and the content that you have created for them in terms of helping to market their business. Does the business owner have to register with Google to connect to the property? It's a good question. I believe they do. I believe they have to have a Google, some sort of Google account. So you don't have to, as as the iGUIDE operator, you don't have to do anything extra, but I believe that you do have to, like, they actually have to have a business registered online in order for you to be able to find their business and then upload the iGUIDE. And of course, there's only one floor that Google allows us to export. So if it is a multi-level business, just to keep that in mind as well, you have to pick one floor. It doesn't allow you to add multiple floors. Are those examples of restoration projects available for us to show potential clients? Andriy, you want to answer that one?
Well, perhaps we can find some examples, some samples which you can be using for your restoration projects. So we can look into it, and maybe I don't think we have enough samples right now for property restoration, but we can try, like we can try getting some and get some samples for you.
Yeah, Kathy McFarland says, I would like to do an email campaign to real estate agents. Can you suggest a number of topics and possibly some data, facts, and figures to help build this series of emails?
Oh yeah, that is something what we can definitely help with. And in fact, so first of all, we will have a series of masterclasses covering specifically how to write those emails, and we can actually, and perhaps, well, we will definitely provide you with some
materials, yeah.
Some samples, yeah, some materials, some samples which you can literally copy paste and use for, and I guess tweak a little bit for your business, and you can use them. And maybe I can send them to you even before that, those master classes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is you guys are getting some insider information. Andriy, in fact, is starting a new series in a couple of weeks. We don't have a title for it yet, but it is geared towards helping you prospect and cold call and talk about the iGUIDE, and that will of course include emails that you can send out to potential clients and maybe past clients as well if they have gone elsewhere in the meantime. So stay tuned, keep tuning in each week. We also will be switching webinar providers. I'm not sure if that will be next week or the following week, but we are now going to be using Zoom. So make sure you pay attention. There will be brand new links in the emails as well. Peter says, I have a friend who makes a very nice living only doing Google Street View. She only works on referral now, busy all the time. Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm sure especially with COVID, there has been additional people and businesses that maybe weren't interested in it before, but now see the value of adding it. And also it's a good time if the business is, I mean, it's not a good time for anybody if your business is not able to have, you know, customers in it in the same capacity because of COVID. But sometimes the coordination of getting into the property, because you don't want to shut down to just do a Google Street View. You want to take advantage now of maybe slower times or maybe a bit more restrictions and get that done. They don't have to worry about kicking clients out or working outside of hours. Steve Watts, yes, the business has to have a Google account. Thank you for verifying. I was 99% sure, but I appreciate you verifying that. Dwayne would be very interested in getting info that Kathy requested. Yep, so awesome. I'm glad to hear that you guys are interested. That we're planning on doing the series anyways, but hearing the live interest is always good to hear, especially for Andriy, who's going to be doing it. So get used to seeing his face and hearing his voice because he's going to be coming through quite a bit. And the
accent as well.
Yeah. Okay, Tina. Okay, just additional people really excited about the potential emails for clients. So again, awesome. Thank you for sharing the feedback. Tim says, do you have a step-by-step process recorded somewhere for adding iGUIDE to Google Street View, including what responsibility the owner has in the process?
Yes, I think we have actually, so in the knowledge base, we have a specific instructions step-by-step on how to export it. It's a really pretty simple process. So maybe we can send it to, I don't know, Kelly, how do we, because I'm pretty new to the master classes. So how do we do this? Like, we actually have a link, so maybe we can share it with everybody.
Yeah, you can just copy and paste if you know where it is. Otherwise, we can so when we post this recording to the forum, we can post some instructions as well to the forum thread, because we will be posting this recording to the iGUIDE discussion forum, because we are recording currently, so we're live. Okay, I think, does anybody have any, I'm actually really excited to hear that you guys are interested in Google Street View, especially because it is a new free feature that we're starting to offer this year. Previously, it was a paid feature. Anybody that created an iGUIDE last year, unfortunately, just because you're adding the add-on this year doesn't make it free. So it's only for iGUIDEs created January 1st, 2021 and beyond. But it's a really great opportunity, as Andriy mentioned, during slower residential real estate periods. Okay, awesome. Andriy posted the Google Street View instructions. Perfect. And if you guys have any additional questions about Google Street View as well, please create a support ticket. That's our tech support specialists are very knowledgeable, and they're always happy to get you answers as soon as possible, whether it's from their own knowledge or from outsourcing to one of the members of our teams. So if you have any questions ever about anything, the best way to get a quick answer is to go through tech support. Peter says, I'm starting to go aggressively after commercial clients. I'll let y'all know how it goes. Yes, please do, Peter. Definitely would love to hear your experiences with commercial clients. Yeah, and churches as well. That's awesome. It was a beautiful church that you shot. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have any last questions before we wrap up? This was a short one today, but just kind of some bullet points and some bite-sized pieces to get you guys thinking about how you can be incorporating some of these tactics into today, into next week, into some of your planning for 2021. Now's a great time. We're just at the end of the first week of the brand new year, so it is definitely not too late to start introducing new things and planning out your year and doing some strategic stuff. So, all right, I don't see any more questions in the chat. Please make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. We're happy to like and follow and share and all of that stuff back, especially on Instagram. If you do any stories, if you tag us in your story, we like and share your story, so it shows up in our feed as well. So thank you once again. I look forward to seeing you all next week. And again, for the following week, stay tuned for Andriy's exciting new series starting on the 21st. Our Instagram name is go_iGUIDE.com.
And
right,
thank
guys.
you very much for good feedback, Peter, Duran, team.
Oops. Yeah, that is awesome. We're happy to have you all. See you all next time.
See you.